Hi, my name's Andrew. I'm going to be showing you how to get the most out of your Google Apps. In this tutorial, we're going to be focused on how to create and manage our actual labels. Labels is the direct replacement for anything called folders. What you used to call folders in Outlook is now called labels in the world of Gmail. Your labels are listed over here on the left hand side. As you can see, everything after the system ones, which are normally inbox, starred, sent, and of course spam. I also have awaiting information and other bits and pieces. Everything from awaiting information down is my own labels. Your labels are listed in alphabetical order, as you'd expect them to, and any labels with these icons next to them essentially have what we call sub-labels, or what you used to call subfolders underneath them. So you can set your labels up in the way that you would like to. Now, when you start using Gmail, you'll probably find that you'll probably create less and less labels. However, I like to use labels to almost keep myself running my mailbox almost like a to-do list. So, how do you create and manage your labels? Well, it's quite simple. If I select an email by ticking the tick box next to it, I have a couple of options. You'll notice on the toolbar that comes up whenever you select and tick a tick box next to an email, I could then have the ability to click on Move to actually move this email into a particular label, or I can choose the label option and add this email to multiple labels, right? So that's what I can do from here. You'll notice at the bottom of each one of these, I can create a new label. I'm now going to create a brand new label, and I'm going to call it Gmail Training. When I click on the Create button, you'll notice that it creates that particular label, puts it into the sidebar in alphabetical order, and it's ready to go. Now, the email that I chose to move into that label has now been moved into it, so it's come out of my inbox, and it's sitting inside there. I can also create a sub-label. So you can see there I've got Gmail Training. What if I wanted to create a sub-label called Filters, for example? Well, I can do. So to do that, if I've got an email that I want to put inside there, I can tick the tick box and do exactly what I did before and create new. But I can also just create a brand new label. I can do that quite simply by clicking on the More button within my sidebar, scrolling down to the bottom until I see the text link that says Create New Label. When I click onto that, a pop-up comes up and it asks me to enter the name of the label. So I'm going to type in the name of my label, and then I'm going to use the nesting option to put it under Gmail Training. So Gmail Training is the parent label, Filters is the sub-label, or what you used to call subfolder. Now I'm going to click on Create, and it's just created that sub-label. So now, when I scroll back up to the top, you can see there that Gmail Training now has the expand icon, just like Google Trainers and Training Team. So when I click onto that, it will show me that Filters is created and sitting inside here. Now, I said to you that labels are just like folders, but with some added benefits. So what you'll find is that you can see from my inbox, I've started to take advantage of some of that functionality. You can put an email in multiple labels. It's not a duplication, it's the same email. There are times that an email has multiple subjects or multiple things or topics that they relate back to. In my case, I like to use my mailbox almost like a to-do list. So if that's the case, and this Gmail Training email here is also about Gmail Training, but it's also something urgent for me to do before I go home, typically what I tend to do is click on the label option, go in here and choose Gmail Training or whatever label I'd like. Note to yourself that this is my sub-label called Filters. And if I scroll down, I can also click on the tick box to use to do ASAP. So now I have those two labels applied onto this email. When I click on Apply, you will see it pop up straight away onto that email. You'll notice also that it's kept it in my inbox. It hasn't taken it out of my inbox and put it inside there. It's kept it in its current location and also applied the label. This means that when I go into this email, you will see there that I have 3 labels. Of course, inbox, Gmail Training, and to do ASAP. The reason why it has the inbox label is because every new mail that comes into your mailbox is automatically tagged as inbox. It's automatically applied the label of inbox. And this is really good advice, because when we talk about managing your inbox and talk about archiving, it will make a lot more sense in those tutorials. So I'm just going to jump back into my inbox for a second. So if I go into, you can see there the Training Room 13 emails there. If I go into Gmail Training, I will see it inside there and it will tell me where else I can find it. And if I go into my to-do ASAP, because I'm using this as my to-do list before I can go home, you'll notice it will tell me inside here that it's also living in Inbox and Gmail Training. So you may be questioning, how do I get the colors onto the actual labels? When I hover over a particular label, you can see there it's got no color there, it's all in gray. But what I can do is just hover over the label in the sidebar, click on the drop down and go to Label Color. You can then see inside here I have a plethora of other options available to me. So if I click on this blue option, anything that's been labeled as Gmail Training will then have this blue icon applied to it. So you can see there now it's asking me, because I have sub-labels, would I like to apply it to all of them within the group? Well, yes, I would. So I'll choose the bottom option and click Set Color, and it will do it for all of the labels that have either Gmail Training or filters, as you can see. We can visually spot colors and summarize information quicker than we can do text, which is perfect for your way of working. We can also hide any labels that we've put into the sidebar. We've never had the ability to do this before. So there are times when you're working on projects or in teams or with a supplier, and maybe the relationship has come to an end, or maybe the project has come to an end as well. If that's the case, then what you can do is hover your cursor over that particular label, click on the drop down that appears when you hover over it, which is on the right hand side, and you'll notice that you have some options to hide it. You'll want to hide it from your label list, because this on the left hand side is your label list. If you hide it from your message list, it will mean that you will no longer be able to see it in this drop down menu. So if I wanted to hide Gmail Training out of this sidebar, I will click on this drop down again and choose Hide from my label list, and immediately it disappears. Now it doesn't delete the label and it doesn't take the emails out of the label. What it does do though is put it underneath the More button. So if I click on More, I will find Gmail Training sitting inside there. At any point I can make this come back to life by clicking and dragging it back up to the top, and it will go back straight into where it was before, sitting in alphabetical order. You'll also find that when I go into an email, I have the ability to remove a label. If I click on the button that's next to the label name at the top, which is always near the subject, you can see I can click on the cross there, and it will take it out of my To-Do ASAP label. So now when I go into To-Do ASAP, I will never see that email inside there. When I click back into my inbox though, you'll see it's still saying Gmail Training, because I can still see it in my Gmail Training label. If you're interested in automatically getting emails to be labeled, then you need to go and check out our filters tutorial, which will show you how to set up rules and filters. Labeling emails makes managing your mailbox much simpler. Thanks for watching, and bye for now.